The Los Angeles Rams are standing at the absolute edge of a franchise-defining transformation, and you need to pay attention right now. We are talking about a week that has torn at our heartstrings while simultaneously demanding brutal financial decisions that will reshape this roster forever. From an emotional goodbye to a Super Bowl hero to a potential $22 million slash to the payroll, the front office is not sleeping. Sean McVay is retooling the machine, and if you think the status quo is safe, you are sadly mistaken, because everything is about to change in Los Angeles.
Robert Woods, affectionately known as Bobby Trees, is officially hanging them up as a member of the Los Angeles Rams. On Wednesday, the veteran wide receiver put pen to paper on a ceremonial one-day contract to ensure his career ends exactly where his legacy was cemented. This is not just a footnote, this is a headline. For 5 seasons, Woods was the absolute heartbeat of this offense, a reliable weapon who did the dirty work, blocked like a tight end, and played with a ferocity that defined the Sean McVay era. He leaves as a Super Bowl champion, a title he earned through sweat, grit, and sacrifice. Looking at the numbers, his impact goes beyond the stat sheet. But let me tell you something right now. You cannot measure heart with analytics. You cannot quantify leadership with a spreadsheet. Robert Woods was the glue guy when things got tough. He was the security blanket for the quarterback. To see him retire in horns is poetic justice, but it also signals the definitive end of a specific chapter in Rams history. We are saying goodbye to the old guard, respecting the past, but realizing that nostalgia does not win championships in the future. The front office knows this. Les Snead knows this. While we wipe away the tears for Bobby Trees, the reality of the business is crashing down on us like a tidal wave. Celebrating a legend is easy, but making the hard choices to keep this window open, that is where the pain really starts. We just honored a hero who gave everything for the Shield. Yet right now, behind closed doors, there is a massive financial dark cloud looming over the defensive side of the ball. We are talking about a $22 million decision that could see another big name walking out the door, not to retirement, but to the unemployment line. You think the roster is set? Think again, because a massive cut is coming. It creates a volatile situation where loyalty clashes with the ruthless salary cap, forcing a move that will undoubtedly shake the very foundation of this defense to its core.
Listen, if you want to stay ahead of every breaking story and understand the ruthless business moves shaping our Rams before anyone else does, you need to hit that subscribe button right now. Do not miss a single update. The emotional celebration is over, and now we must face the cold, hard financial reality hitting Los Angeles. Sources are indicating that the Rams are under immense pressure to part ways with a high-priced defensive asset carrying a staggering $22 million cap hit. This is not a suggestion. This is a fiscal necessity for roster re-engineering. While the specific name is being debated in hushed tones, the math does not lie. You cannot sustain a championship-caliber roster when you are bleeding over $20 million for production that does not match the price tag. This move is viewed as absolutely critical for reallocating resources to sectors of the defense that desperately need an infusion of youth and speed. We are talking about clearing cap space to actually function in free agency. It is a brutal business, and I promise you, feelings will be hurt. But let me be clear. If you are not performing at an elite level, you are stealing money from the franchise. The Rams cannot afford dead weight. This potential release is the first domino in a massive defensive overhaul. They are stripping it down to build it back up. The front office is looking at that defensive depth chart and realizing it is time to cut the cord. We are looking at a scenario where a veteran leader is shown the door to save the books. It is ruthless, but it is the NFL. You cut the fat to feed the muscle. But here's the problem. If you cut a $22 million player, you create a massive void in the lineup. You create a hole that free agency alone cannot fix. So where do you turn? You turn to the draft. And let me tell you, the experts are already connecting the dots. If this veteran gets cut, the strategy for the first round shifts dramatically. You have to hear what the top analysts are predicting, because it changes the entire identity of our defense moving forward. This is a strategic pivot that will define the future of the franchise. The financial bloodletting leads us directly to the war room strategy for the upcoming draft. On Thursday, NFL Network authority Daniel Jeremiah dropped a projection that should have every Rams fan sitting on the edge of their seat. The forecast is crystal clear.
The Los Angeles Rams are expected to use their premium first-round capital to aggressively reinforce the secondary. We are not talking about best player available. We are talking about a surgical strike on the defensive backfield. The names you need to memorize right now are Emmanuel McNeil-Warren and Colton Hood. Jeremiah identifies these two as the primary targets to fix a unit that has been exposed far too often. Think about the sequence of events here. First, we retire a legend. Second, we prepare to slash a massive defensive contract. And now, the blueprint reveals a desperate need to inject young, hungry talent into the secondary. This is not a coincidence. This is a coordinated pivot. The Rams are signaling that the era of relying on expensive veterans in the backfield is over. They want speed, they want instinct, and they want rookie contracts. McNeil-Warren brings that physicality at safety, and Hood offers the coverage skills at cornerback that we have been screaming for. But understand the stakes. If they miss on these picks, the defense collapses. If you cut a $22 million veteran and replace him with a rookie who cannot play, you are doomed. The pressure on Les Snead to hit a home run with these picks is astronomical. It is a high-risk, high-reward strategy that puts the entire season on the shoulders of unproven talent. But you can't just fix the defense and hope the offense runs itself. You need leadership on the sideline to make sure the machine keeps humming. While the defense gets a facelift, the offensive coaching staff is undergoing a major shakeup that proves Sean McVay is not resting on his laurels. You need to hear who's taking the reins of this offense because it impacts Matthew Stafford directly and immediately.
The puzzle pieces are falling into place, and the final major update comes from the offensive side of the ball. On Friday, ESPN confirmed a significant restructuring of Sean McVay's coaching staff. The Rams have officially promoted Nate Scheelhaase to offensive coordinator. This is a massive vote of confidence for a young mind who has been grinding within the system. But they did not stop there. They also elevated Dave Ragone to the role of co-offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. This is a strategic masterclass in continuity. Why does this matter? Because Matthew Stafford does not need a new system. He needs evolution within the system he has already mastered. By promoting from within, McVay is ensuring that the language remains the same, the philosophy remains intact, but the voices are fresh. Scheelhaase has earned this stripe. He understands the intricacies of the McVay offense, and putting Ragone directly in the room with Stafford ensures that the quarterback play remains elite. This is about protecting the franchise's most important asset. While the defense is being gutted and rebuilt with rookies, the offense is doubling down on stability and intelligence. I love this move. It shows that McVay values loyalty and internal development. It tells the locker room that if you do your job, you will be rewarded. However, do not mistake stability for complacency. These promotions come with the expectation of immediate results. Scheelhaase is now in the hot seat. He has to call plays that keep this team in contention while the defense finds its footing. The pressure is on. The pieces are set. You have the emotional retirement, the ruthless cap cuts, the draft strategy targeting the secondary, and now the offensive leadership is locked in. It is a perfect storm of activity that sets the stage for a defining season. The question is no longer about what they will do. It is about whether these bold moves will actually work when the lights turn on for Week 1 arrives.
We are witnessing a franchise in the middle of a high-stakes metamorphosis. The Rams are balancing the emotional weight of the past with the brutal financial demands of the present. From Robert Woods leaving as a hero to the potential exit of a $22 million defender, the message is loud and clear. No one is safe, and winning is the only currency that matters. The front office is betting the house on young defensive talent and internal coaching promotions to keep the championship window open. Now I want to hear from you. Do you trust the strategy of cutting expensive veterans to rely on rookies in the secondary? Or is this a recipe for disaster? Drop your comments below, hit that like button, and let's get ready for a wild offseason. This is our team, and the work is just beginning.